sir.
Thank you, Dr. Sahu. Hope I am audible. I don't know how much time I have been given. I think Dr. Ranjan is a best friend of mine. Before I start, my respect to Revered Vice Chancellor sir and all senior officials of GM University, faculty colleagues of School of Statistics, and the learned delegates and student friends. I was just wondering who should be my target audience. I thought if I can speak to young minds, particularly students, scholars, that would be better. I have a structured presentation. I request Dr. Ranjan Babu and Dr. Nirupama ma'am, you can please stop me whenever like I'm consuming or exhausting or going beyond my allotted time. I don't know how much of time I am giving Nirupama madam.
No problem, sir.
Okay, sir, there is no problem.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. So thanks again, GM University. I look forward to visit your beautiful campus physical mode so that we can have interaction with respected Vice Chancellor sir and all the young, dynamic, energetic faculty colleagues of statistics. I would be trying to drive home why we should love statistics more, particularly scholars and students of statistics in general, and maybe like PG students of statistics in particular. I would be trying to tell there is a bright future for those who are studying statistics. I pay my tribute to the great statesman, Sri P.C. Mahalanobis on his anniversary day. And my structure presentation would be on this. The plan of presentation would be particularly to tell that how statistics is having immense potential. And we'll be finding here that actually a lot of work to be done and mostly it is underutilized. And I will be trying to say how statistics is a necessity for each and every administration, which I'll be calling as a professor of management, management of events, management of actions or operations. I'll be touching upon how and what official statistics, and then I'll be just trying to extend the narrow view on administration, what we really mean by administration, and how statistics can help us for administration. And particularly as a former employee of Ministry of Statistics, I started my career for just 1 year in MOSPI, particularly National Sample Survey Organization. MOSPI stands for Ministry of Statistics Planning and Implementation. I started immediately after completion of my education. I was with MOSPI for 1 year. So I'll be just narrating my experience in the next slide. And also as a researcher, how we can do a lot of things in the field of statistics. And we'll be just trying to see even statistics, how it helps in decision making for day-to-day decisions. But to start with, let's try to have a glimpse of age-old historical practice, particularly the ancient kings, how they use statistics for their administration. I'll be starting with one statistics, in particular revenue statistics. I remember when I was a junior statistician like statistical investigator with MOSPI, I was posted at Berhampur and my jurisdiction was entire South Odisha, and we were into data collection. I remember traveling from Koraput, Jaipur to Boriguma, western Odisha, and there was a friend who actually guided me and just wanted to show a very interesting thing for me. I just was very curious, and I just wanted him to what is the interesting thing. He would just come and see, and he showed a very old well like this, and that well was not near any village. That was a jungle place, barren land, and there was no habitation, no village in the miles to come. And he was just asking me, can you just guess why this well was built when there is no population, no village here? I was really surprised, wondering. Now I'll be showing this next picture so that it will be clear. Actually, that was deliberately constructed by those kings those days who were collecting revenue through maybe like elephant, horse, and whatnot, bullock cart, and they were traveling. They knew that after a few miles, they need water and leaf, and they had planted some like banyan tree, and they had also dug well like this. So I was like very curious, and that is a very learning point for me. And I'll be just showing how it was done and how it is helping to statistics. Now, if you please remember, our metric system is a bit peculiar, unique. We should all feel proud of that. And one of it is like Jojona, is like measure of distance that was used in ancient India. And people know that elephants or even like bullock cart, you just like cannot run like at one go. They need rest, and they will be like should be fed. And for that, you need some water and other things. So after a few Kosha or Jojona, the kings would have these facilities. I'll be showing some ancient scriptures like this, if you can please notice here. Please see, this first one is a Kosha-Minar available in New Delhi. And there are many structures like this built by Mughals and other rulers also. And it was an indication that these many miles you have traveled. Suppose you are riding horse or elephant, so that there's the indication. Those days it was not there, no communication, and these were like indication so that you from a far off place that you know. This is how they managed. So this is a part of like statistics or keeping the records here. Suppose somebody has paid revenue and you are noting it there, and somebody has not paid because he has not got the crop, and he or she is a defaulter, and you are making a record who was not given. And moving forward, if you see how those things who gave, who didn't, was recorded. If you see, there was like copper and palm leaf where it was recorded like this. So this was the ancient record keeping. We should not forget how it started well and how we move forward. Now, if we look how we really proceeded post-independence, I think Ranjan and others, those who did statistics earlier, maybe like knowing how we really calculated there. And earlier, at least till late 1990s, it was mostly paper-based. And all those things in banks, in secretariat, you'll be finding piles of files and mountains of files. Just to extract one file, you had to bribe babus. And it was a really difficult task to get the record. Now, how fast we moved from those manual method to computer-based, it was really at a tremendous speed. And it happened only during the last 2 decades. And it's a really sea change what has done. And all statistics stored in one efficient manner. So retrieval is really very easy for us. Now, it's not only limited to the government sector. I'll be giving a lot of examples in private sector, how statistics helps in faster decision making if it is stored, retrieved properly, efficiently. Now, before I proceed, show you some like how we really transited and the transformation occurred. I'll be just like briefly give some theoretical background, particularly for the student friends, not senior colleagues, those who pretty well know. So for decisions, say for example, kings wanted to like say penalize those who are not giving. So how do you know that like who are not given, who is a chronic default? So you have to refer the record. So for every decision, you have to refer some record, which we call statistics. So those are called administrative decision for which you need some specific statistics. So when you are classifying the type of action, type of decision, accordingly, we classify the type of information or type of statistics. At the base level, routine level, almost every day, what we do, that is called transactional decision. And accordingly, we need those kind of information or data for daily operations. Moving up in the ladder, which you don't do every day kind of thing. So further, one more type of information and decision are called tactical decisions. And as we move forward, the highest form of decision will be strategic decision, where you need key information. I'm not wasting your time, at least. I can give examples of those information, examples of those decisions I have highlighted here, and we'll be moving forward. Now, as we may feel, for every decision, statistics required as necessity. Now, what we do if we have just like elementary analysis, what we call in statistics terminology or parlance, we call it descriptive statistics or descriptive statistical analysis. We have given example, say very briefly, we want to have some idea. And the next, say for example, you want to predict something. If you have got some input, what is possible output here? So that we call it predictive analysis. And examples are given like say weather forecast or say growth rate, what is going to happen. Looking at the monsoon, can we like predict what will be the crop production even before the harvest? And some type of analysis called prescriptive analysis, what we should do. Say for example, should we revise the SLR, revise the CRR, which we do in monetary policy. So these are called a different type of analysis for which you need specific type of statistics. Now, how we have done, I was taking the name of Dr. Ranjan, who is a best friend of mine, like my younger brother. I think this picture, young generation might not have seen. The left-hand side is a facet machine. Those who did some 30, 40 years back, post-graduation or graduation in statistics, must have used this machine, facet machine. And that was given to us, to me, to Dr. Ranjan, to do some statistical operation that is called facet machine. And how cumbersome was that, and how inefficient was that. And gradually we moved to the computer, I think the punch card and the floppy disk, even the younger generation may not be knowing. And this is how we made the transformation. And suddenly there was, because of the revolution in computing facility, and we moved from monotony to greater efficiency, greater speed, and we did the same job much faster because of the technology. And if I look back how statistics processing was done through computing devices, earlier we had standalone computer, and then gradually we moved to online real time. I think those who are IT professionals, particularly I think my colleague Dr. Dasalati, HOD from Utkal University, is listening to me. Experts like him, it is easy for him to distinguish online versus real time. So for example, I am booking a ticket, and automatically then and there, the quota is reduced by 1:1. So it is managed perfectly. So that if I'm booking for Bhubaneswar, maybe like from Baleshwar knows that there is no seat in the particular train. So it is updated real time. So how efficiently we are doing this. And this is what we have been seeing, but we don't know what is going to happen even after one decade. And a lot of genius scientists working overtime. And we don't know what in future we have. And in the 2 decades, we never thought that we'll be coming to this stage at such a speed. I guess like particularly the present government's push for a digital India has got strong determination, and it is making even the general public gradually to be more tech savvy. And thanks to the revolution of a smartphone, particularly Geo, and who gave almost 6 months or 1 year free data pack, and there was a huge revolution, and all of us are conversant with mobile apps through which we are also doing lot of work. And we should not be complacent. I will be citing many examples that there is a lot of work to be done. There is still a lot of backing. If you see as a researcher, every field, in that field, in every subfield, minute thing, lot of things to be done. I can cite one more example here just now. Today, this morning, I was like checking Times of India. Those who might have seen, I'm just putting the time here. Today at 11, there is a direction by Supreme Court to not only to center, to all states. What is the database of unorganized labor? Where they are, what they do, how do you compensate? We don't have a database. Now, Supreme Court, the apex body, has ordered that within 1 month, by July 31st, there has to be complete database, and this will be given with all documentation, fooding and whatever help they require. So it's a huge task, how it should be done. And all statisticians have a role here. And because you are dealing with a lot of statistics here. Now, moving forward. Now, how is the official statistics today? I'll be just like showing you very briefly because I have some other intention of telling with examples. I'll be skipping here. So as you see, I was like referring to MOSPI, Ministry of Statistics Planning Implementation, where I served for 1 year, maybe like 1987 over there. And these are the like website, those who I am pretty sure most of you, because you love statistics, at least majority of you must have seen these websites. So volume of data freely available, particularly for statistics. Students and researchers, they can get useful data for their own research. Moving forward, even at state level also, particularly Directorate of Economic and Statistics, and they have also got data here, and gradually they are also uploading. Earlier we used to refer the publication, annual publication for our research those days, but nowadays most of the things are available digitally. So it's like research made easy, we can say. And we'll be briefly touching upon few challenges, what the administration, what the planners, what the statisticians are facing dealing with the data or statistics. Say, for example, the hot topic today is not only the COVID virus, but also the vaccination program. It's a huge drive. I'll be showing you the latest data, and particularly whether it is state, which state is like very highly affected, and what should be done, and it is reviewed daily basis. This type of statistics helps the planners, the bureaucrats to do some, say, should we relax the lockdown here at Bhubaneswar? Should we open off, say, Western Odisha, Sambalpur or Rourkela? So like you take a decision. I just started with the decision making. It is backed by some information. It is not a whimsical decision. It's fact-based decisions. So those decisions are dependent on this kind of statistical data. I can give many examples. I think those who have like from commerce management field, they know that the huge money invested in stock market, and sometimes it goes up and goes down, and if it is not controlled, lakhs of crores of money can be mismanaged. So there is a term called circuit breaker mechanism. Say, for example, if it is goes more than 3% change up or down, automatically it comes to standstill. So huge mechanism. So you are deciding when you should put a brake. Say, for example, very recently we had circuit breaker concepts like the stock market crashed or was going to crash. So there has to be some auto mechanism where it should put a stop to the trading. That is called circuit breaker. I can like give example here. So this is what I have taken just 2 hours back. It's a massive vaccination drive. I've taken it from CoWin website here. Anybody can like open that website here. And this is for Odisha. And this is for last 30 days. If you can see first dose, second dose, total, how it is happening. You can also do it for today. Daily basis also it is tracked. And you can see in Odisha, as on today, at 605 centers, vaccination is going on. So it is tracking helps in official statistics management or administration. This can be given for our India. This is for today. And I have taken just 2 years back. And the different graphs are first dose, second dose, and total vaccination. And if you look to the 30 days, this is what the picture. And you can see all over India, you can please see at over 38,000 centers, huge vaccination program going on. And till date, till today morning, I guess like this data should be till last evening, though it is flash today morning, I have got it here. Over 32.6 crore doses given. We can call it vaccine. And out of those, dose 1, 26.9 crore, this will be crore. And second dose, 5.69 crore till today morning statistical shows here. So now you can see even also state-wise, which state is lagging, which is doing better, and that helps bureaucrats in taking corrective measure. Say, for example, one area is lagging. You have to like man them, manpower should be reshuffled, sent to that particular place. Moving ahead, let's take again a few challenging cases, which is a food for thought for researchers in the field of applied statistics. Say, for example, please imagine handling huge database relating to income tax. When I'm talking of like huge database of income tax, please don't mean those who are paying tax. There is also observation by government who are not paying but should have paid. Government is watching. I think slowly, those who are paying tax must be knowing different forms, 26 AAs or whatever TDS, and all those data are managed. So how to take a decision, how many should be brought to the income tax net? So that decision can be taken, is possible only when you use relevant data like this. And data management is really very, very important. And moving ahead, I was giving example, say for example, the huge Indian rail network, so many thousands of trains, and the reservation or air ticket reservation. So the statistical data is at the backbone. And moving forward, mobile recharge statistics, when what time our pack is going to be exhausted. And some of us must be watching, am I having the daily net pack or not? Everything is watched by those mobile service provider. When I'm talking of mobile service provider, I'm indirectly referring how they use statistics. It's not limited to the government sector. It is also used by the private sector. Say, for example, Subudhi's net pack is getting adjusted tomorrow, and I get message, go on getting a message, renew it. So that decision making, auto-generated messages come because of simple management of some statistics. Now moving ahead, I think these are the things we should skip here. And I'll be, as a researcher, I'll be taking few slides here, how huge research database, huge research database. I think I'm pretty sure Honorable Vice Chancellor will be interested to have this, how we compare different universities also. When we are comparing different universities, we talk to or we refer research statistics. And it's a huge potential of doing research on research statistics. I'll be just briefly hinting at, and very briefly, lakhs of research articles published every month, and they are being cited. Those citations are statistics. How it should be managed? Those aggregators do marvelous job for us, for the researcher, in knowing, letting us know which article is better, which article is less popular or less impactful. So the impact of research is measured by some research statistics. So this is what we'll be briefly suggesting, and subject-wise, topic-wise, industry-wise, geography-wise, it is classified. And if you search in Google Scholar or any other database, we get access to those kind of research articles. Say, beautiful managed. I was just telling about the ranking of authors, ranking of colleges, ranking of university or research labs. There are few popular databases like Google Scholar, ResearchGate, and for social science, that is called SSRN, Social Science Research Network. I'll be just citing very briefly. I'm pretty sure many of our teacher colleagues are listed in these sites. Say, for example, I don't have much research to my credit. Whatever, if you search my name in Google, you'll be finding that it is cited by so many. So I know that my colleague X or colleague Y is doing in this area better. I should follow his or her articles, so that I know. And this one is SSRN, and SSRN I was suggesting till today morning, you can find over 9 lakh research papers, and there are 4.5 lakh authors, and this is over 30 different disciplines. You can imagine how huge is this database. Moving forward, I think young friends here, hope I'm not boring others, and I'll be very happy if somebody want to ask me any question or advise me to stop or kind of thing. I'm pretty sure not Ranjan or me, we are smart enough. Young students, they must have their YouTube channel. At my old age, I also tried my bit, and I felt happy that some of my video are seen by kind-hearted person like Ranjan or Nirupama Panda Madam, whom I respect. And there are few subscribers. Who is watching? What is the age group? From which country they are watching? I think those who have seen YouTube statistics, I got amazed actually. Let me admit that I was not knowing this. My son, who is pretty young, is IT professional. He introduced me to social media, Facebook and YouTube and all that. He has helped me, and I'm moving ahead. So I think in the last 1 year, I've got this many views and 290 subscribers. I'm noticing which age group is watching me or my video, and which country and what is the gender. If you really go to the YouTube statistics, it's fantastic analysis they're doing. Now, why I'm telling this? As a scholar, as a statistician, Dr. Ranjan or me, Subudhi, we should find what more should be done in YouTube statistics. If you can do a project, collaborative project with a YouTube channel, they'll be happy to collaborate with you. We can suggest this is not the sufficient analysis. Can we add some more features here? So they'll be very appreciating, and they'll be collaborating with us. So even Google Scholar, whatever I'm giving it here, there are a lot of scope for improvement. So my submission here is, my scholar friends, my colleagues, think differently, think as a researcher, what more could be done. When it is Google Scholar, we should not say wow kind of thing. As professor, as scholars, we should find what more should be done to Google Scholar. Google Scholar is doing marvelous thing, but we should not say it is the best. Can it be improved? What should be done? So this is what a researcher's focus should be. Moving forward, I think this is what YouTube statistics does. Age statistics you can find, gender statistics you can find, from which country they are viewing, how much of hour they are viewed. Lot of things coming up in the YouTube statistics. Check here. Now moving to those who are contributing paper, I think it's familiar to those teachers and Manuscript Central or AG Chair, how they're managing here. I'm pretty sure many of you must have used this. This is called journal or conference administration. For this also you need some data. So whatever you have data, and there is a role of statistician. This slide and next slide, I request you don't take it personal. My former vice chancellor has done at KIT University how we are doing. Say Google Scholar, Scopus Index paper, Web of Science paper, how we are doing here. As you can see, and as you know that Scopus Index and Web of Science, they are called more quality paper. And naturally, the quantity comes in Google Scholar. So if you can see, and the vice chancellor was analyzing, and they were asking in one annual conference for all teachers of KIT University why we have not done in 2013. And he set target that we should have minimum publication days. And you can see what are the improvement. And after 2016 also, we have done better, still better. So if you take stock of the things and say that here there is scope for improvement, I think we have to do that. Okay, and this is what my former vice chancellor had done. Let me give credit to Professor P.P. Mathur. He's a good scientist. He is now, I think, with the Billa Global University, and he was comparing where is KIT, where is Utkal University, where is IIT Bhubaneswar, and what is other institute here. And this is for 2016. So this is where like the analysis he did and getting from the data. Unless we compare where we stand, we cannot set a target for us. Then we need to do this. Okay. So this is a public thing. I'm not like telling from my mind. So whenever telling this, I'm telling facts. So we have to see why IIT is doing better. Can I not do better? So this is what like we have to set target for ourselves, benchmarking. I'll be giving a few examples for how we use statistics for estimation prediction. I'll not be using any math, any statistics. I'll be giving some common sense, some common examples here. Say, for example, there was hue and cry, the oxygen demand by Delhi government. I think those who are reading newspaper must have seen. They suggested or overestimated, I don't know, let's not comment, it is sub judice, but how they estimated this much oxygen cylinder we need. Okay, so there must be some calculation, there must be some statistical data. Okay, now say for example, distribution of COVID vaccine across state, where more should be given. Okay, why? So that's like how do we estimate? And say for example, this I will be skipping here, how they are monitoring, and at every stage they have statistical records here. My intention would be to show you a few interesting examples. Say for example, those who might have booked ticket in a most demanded train or line, and say for example, IRCTC site is showing you are waitlisted, will you be buying it? Then there is a pop-up here like this. I hope some of you at least must have seen that chance of confirmation is 70%. Please see, this is a new feature very recently added, I think since last 2 years only. Sorry that during last 2 years because of COVID, many trains are not moving and we are not booking train. But earlier, before 2 years back, there was a mad race, there was a necessity of moving out, and we used to refer this. Please see how useful this was. And you can guess how they arrive at this kind of figure. They are referring to past data, how often it got confirmed, what is the proportion of getting confirmation, and this was a very useful information. So this is what like how we'll be doing. And another example I'll be giving, say for example, a huge crowd you guess. Say for example, tomorrow, Delhi Parliament, lot of farmers are going to come. Can you have some rough estimation how much a farmer might come? So that was first thought by a professor called Howard Jacob, and he did some elementary work, and that is called Jacob's theory. 1995, for a wrong, faulty policy of US, there was a huge protest, and somebody just like wanted to know how many actually came. Now, please see this grid. Jacob counted one such tile or grid and then multiplied different tile. The formula was like this. This was something because of the Vietnam war policy. He focused on a small area and counted the number of people who could be accommodated in that small place, say for example, 1 meter by 1 meter or 10 meter by 10 meter, and then multiply the total area there. Okay, so that is called Jacob's method. And as you can guess, similar methods are being now done when you are counting fish in deep sea or Chilka Lake, or maybe like Hirakud Reservoir or birds, animals. You can imagine how they're doing it. So this is a very interesting thing. How do we know in wild or dense forest? Okay, it's a very interesting application of statistics. This is what I'm suggesting. Please look at this and take it only in academic spirit, no political agenda here. And this is what actually happened. One time, there was like huge crowd, farmers protest. And after a few months, then it thinned out. Now you have to infer, you means government, they have to infer. Is it that support base is dwindling, decreasing? Okay, how do you know? In a huge crowd, you cannot go and count head count there. So different mechanisms are there, and you have to have estimate. Say for example, Rath Yatra at Puri. You have to have estimate how many lakhs of devotees will come, so that you have to have provisions, water, sanitary, well in advance. So you have to forecast, estimate months before, so that you can have different provision and better management of crowd. Okay, so this is what like we also come into for statisticians, and we'll be doing this. And this is another example. Those who are working, or even also many leading universities, they also have got devices like this, attendance record. And this attendance record is also giving us indirectly some statistics, which you can use for monitoring of either employees or the students. I'll be skipping this. This slide I took for my PG class analysis. Say, for example, I'm noting it here. Say, for example, a particular day, day 1, day 2, day 3, and I'm just comparing how some of the students arrived. Say, for example, my class starts at 9:30, and I'm observing who comes late, who comes like early. Say, for example, I observe students enter as early as 9:20, and even also there are a few defaulter who have got genuine case, or even also they come up 9:40 also after 10 minutes. Suppose I'm observing few students, how erratic it is. So can I have some like judgment on those students? These are hypothetical curves, deliberately just to show them distinction, what you really mean. This is for academic discussion inside the class. So just my interest was to introduce a term called outlier. So for example, this student comes like this, and one day comes much early. As a joke, I just told he was regularly irregular, and maybe that day he knew that I am going to conduct a surprise quiz. He come much early to take help of others. So this is what like as a joke I am telling. So if you analyze, track those employee data, you can know who is really most sincere. This is my intention. Okay, moving forward. I have only a few slides. Hope I have not overshot the allotted time. We can remember, along with great statesman P.C. Mahalanobis, another finest statistician, C.R. Rao, is also associated with ISI Kolkata. And as you can see, and those who know C.R. Rao, is really a true, genuine statistics professor who has been awarded so far by over 39 genuine academic PhD degrees. He has got dual citizenship of US and India. And those who know AP government, they have named one road, C.R. Rao Road. They have named one institute, C.R. Rao Advanced Statistics Institute. And such a fine gentleman, and those who are from statistics background, they know so many theories, C.R. Rao, Rao-Kramer inequality and others, the work he's remembered for. And I'll be just like giving one more example here about Vinod Gupta. He was completed engineering from IIT Kharagpur. Those who are aware about the MBA department of IIT Kharagpur is named after this person. And please recall, this man was just an engineer, went to US. As a mad fellow, he started collecting huge data. And that data came handy for many decision makers, including political tycoons, including political leaders. They wanted to know how can we influence those voters, okay? And he got huge money by selling those data. And he got such an income, he donated a lot of money to his alma mater, IIT Kharagpur, and he asked to start management school at IIT Kharagpur. And so we have Vinod Gupta School of Management, IIT Kharagpur. This is the man, as you can see with Bill, and you can just see the proximity, closeness with the former president of US. You can imagine how powerful that person could be. So I'm just telling that there is a lot of demand, commercial value of data and statistics. Now, future challenges. Ranjan, can I continue for another 5-7 minutes, please?
Thank you. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Now, there are a lot of challenges, a lot of work to be done. Particularly nowadays, what we really face, a lot of fake calls we are receiving, and there is threat of hackers, and there is a huge threat of also terrorists. They are going much ahead of us. Much ahead of us. So we have to beat them and to be smarter. Okay. So tracking hackers and terrorist plans well in time will be a huge time. And this is only database. And also the natural calamities more accurately, which like we are suffering like anything last few years. I think IT professionals, IT colleagues, those who are listening to me, they will be knowing this. A huge potential of cloud computing, where we have to have a sync cloud computing versus statistics. That will be really interesting. And not only cloud computing, there is another concept called crowdfunding. A lot of great work has been done by public money, and that is called crowdfunding. How do we control that? How do we administer that? So that also needs some statistics. Okay. And there could be many other applications where we can work. I'll be giving one like research article on that US terrorist attack of Twin Tower, how they tracked really where actually the terrorists plotted, how they telephoned. You can see the network, this network analysis of 9/11 attack. So you can imagine how statistical research has helped tracking down, pinning down where the mastermind would be. Okay, so this is what like how they were in touch. So this is what one of the research papers they published. So a very, very, very potential area where you can do this. I think with this, I have come to an end. Hope I have not bored you all. I am immensely thankful to the university and in particular statistics department, all the participants for present hearing. Hope I have not taken much time, and particularly my younger brother, Professor Ranjan, and his entire organizing team. I'm stopping this, and if you have got any query, question, advice, or you